project, recall, Dr. Alice Reed never believed in ghosts. She believed in neural networks and synapses. That's why she led the revolutionary Project Phoenix, an attempt to extract the last, most vivid memory of a deceased person from their brain and recreate it in virtual reality for their relatives. The subject was the old Wayne mansion, where their daughter, Lily, had gone missing 20 years earlier. Mr. Wayne, on his deathbed, had consented to the experiment. The team entered the derelict house. The air was heavy, smelling of dust and long-withered flowers. Alice set up the scanners, connecting them to a powerful server in the van. The goal was to find the imprint of the tragedy in the very structure of the house, in its materials. The theory was that strong emotions leave a trace on the environment. They started the process. At first, there was just ordinary data, temperature fluctuations, phonon echoes. But then the video wall in the van came to life. An image appeared, old, grainy, like footage from a home video. It was the living room, but clean and furnished. A little girl, Lily, was sitting on the sofa, reading a book. She was alive. "This is incredible," one of the techs whispered. "We did it." But Alice leaned in. Something was wrong. Lily would occasionally look up from her book, not at the camera, but toward a corner of the room. The carefree expression on her face would vanish, replaced by one of vague anxiety. She was seeing something there. "This isn't just a memory," Alice said. "She's interacting with something." Suddenly, the image began to flicker. The light in the virtual living room stuttered. Lily put the book down and stood up. She walked toward the stairs leading to the second floor. Her posture was tense, as if something was calling her, but she was going reluctantly. "We're losing the signal," a technician yelled. "No, hold it," Alice commanded. She had to know what happened. The camera, obeying the command, followed Lily. The girl went upstairs and stopped in front of the door to her childhood bedroom. It was slightly ajar. An intense, unnatural light poured from the crack beneath it. Lily turned around. For the first time, she looked directly into the camera, or so it seemed, directly at Alice. Her eyes were filled with such bottomless terror that it stole Alice's breath. The girl frantically shook her head, as if begging them not to go any further. But the team was mesmerized. "What's in there? Show us," someone's voice urged. Lily slowly turned back to the door and pushed it open. The light swallowed her. The camera followed. The room was empty, completely. No furniture, no toys, just white walls. And in the middle of the room stood a creature. It had no form. It was merely a shadow, a distortion of space, so alien and wrong that the mind refused to process it. It had no eyes, but Alice could feel it looking at her. At all of them, Lily stood with her back to them, facing the creature. She was completely still. "What is that? What is she seeing?" the technician asked, his voice tight with panic. Alice glanced at the readouts. The encephalographs connected to the house scanners were going haywire. The house wasn't just storing a memory. It was preserving an entity, the thing that had taken Lily. Suddenly, the creature moved. Not physically, but the shadow on the wall behind it stretched, long and endless, and touched the back of Lily's head. The girl shuddered, and in that moment, Alice understood the terrible truth. Project Phoenix wasn't extracting a memory from the house. It was opening a window, and they weren't just observing. They were being watched. The video wall suddenly went black. The inside of the van smelled of roses, sweet, cloying, and dead. Someone on the team gasped. Alice turned. On an empty chair in the corner lay an old doll. It hadn't been there when they entered. The doll had eyes embroidered with thread. They were wide open, and from its mouth, also stitched into a smile, protruded a small, scorched scrap of paper. With a trembling hand, Alice retrieved it. It was a page from the very same children's book Lily had been reading in the memory. On it was a single phrase, circled in a child's handwriting. "Now I see you." The van's headlights suddenly died. In the darkness, a quiet, tinkling child's laugh echoed. It didn't come from outside. It was coming from inside the van.